Hello, I'm Noah Rosenblum, and this is my creative critical reflection for my movie opening of The Henchman. This film falls into the genres of thriller, drama, and crime. In the making of my opening, filming occurred on an iPhone 7 Plus because of its powerful camera. In the creation of my project, I embrace conventions of the genre and challenge them. My opening commences with a close-up shot of a spy character's feet and a tilt showing the spy flicking his cigarette. This shot was taken to show the spy's indifference to be cautious and simply smoking a cigarette while on a mission and flicking it. In the developing of this spy character, I adopted elements of the espionage genre and dressed my character like a typical spy. He wore a large beige trench coat, sunglasses, and I gelled back his hair. This challenges elements of the espionage genre at the same time, because usually a spy would move gracefully, not leave behind a trace. My opening progresses with shots of the spy sneaking past credited names on the wall. I used a label maker in order to print out the names and decided quality shots could be taken of the spy moving by them. Intuitive use of handheld camera movement panned across and paused on the names as the spy approached them. Shooting the credits in my opening greatly improved my skills of filming, especially while in movement, because I had to keep the camera very steady, which proved to be a challenge for me. Including credits blended into the environment of the narrative is present within many films, however, is especially typical of crime genre films, so this convention was necessary for my opening. Subsequent shots followed of simply just the spy sneaking on the wall and looking into the windows. This slow progression of the scene engages audiences because it piques their interest as to what the character is doing. After the spy turns a corner, suddenly and stealthily, the henchman takes him down with a swift neck snap. A snapping sound effect was added here as my editing software allowed for it easily, and it improved the scene. This henchman character is the main protagonist of the production. He was able to sneak up on the spy so skillfully because he's a talented character. Directly after taking him down, the henchman searches the spy thoroughly to show he's a cautious person. He strips a radio off him and eats a candy found in his pocket, demonstrating his demeanor and witty personality. This scene uniquely introduces the main protagonist, enabling the audience to be further engaged in his character. The scene ends with a close-up shot of the radio being held for an extended period of time in order to emphasize the radio's importance to the henchman. This convention is often used in thrillers and horrors, and lingering shot on an inanimate object suggests that it is of significance to the audience. A fade to black provides a good transition from the scene to the next, because my next scene utilizes low-key lighting for the most part. This next scene embarks with a close-up of the henchman's hands playing the piano. I included this to show the character's intellect and sophistication. Static emitted from the radio interrupts his playing and frustrates him due to no stable signal being found. He slams the radio onto the deep piano keys, creating a loud booming noise. This sudden sound adds to the dark tone of the scene and engages the audience with suspense. Adding the static sound effect allows for the audience to more easily understand the scene, and it forced me to learn how to better use my editing software. The dimly lit low shot of the radio on the floor and of the character's legs walking into the other room keeps continuity in the lighting of the clip and is reminiscent of the dark lighting style present within the drama and crime genres frequently. He walks into the kitchen to be greeted by his lover, whom is a man. I chose to appoint my main character a homosexual because it challenges genre conventions. Typically, a sophisticated, murderous criminal's sexual orientation, as depicted by other crime films, is overwhelmingly heterosexual. My character is breaking this characteristic of crime films, acts as a rebellion against stereotypical views facing gay men. It depicts this gay guy as physically indomitable, which is not usually how homosexuals are projected in media. This also further engages homosexual people in my movie. Within the scene, my main character pets the dog and downs a glass of wine, both adding to the complexity of his character and the mise-en-scene of the clip. This was shot from a bit of a high angle in order to humanize the characters and limit the scope of the frame. Static, similar to the static sound effect used earlier, is heard from the other room, and he walks back into the dimly lit room with the piano and radio to investigate. Dark lighting and a close-up on the radio being picked up evoke dramatic effect. An external macro lens was used to shoot an extra close-up of his eye, which emphasizes to the audience something significant is happening because during this shot, a hello is heard through the radio. Then, a dramatic shot of his mouth being held up to the radio, saying, "Who is this?" brings the opening to the concluding screen. On top of this scene, a musical addition on the transition into the title screen creates more suspense and interest in the viewer. Low-key lighting promoted the dark nature of the scene. Use of a macro lens to get a high-resolution close-up of my actor's eye made me become a better cameraman, as keeping the camera in focus was difficult. Lastly, a movie's opening sequence closing in a shot of the title of the film is a common characteristic of thriller and action films, so its implementation seemed wise to end the opening of my film The Henchman. This concludes my creative, critical reflection of my movie opening.